New from Shameless releases is Mountain of the Cannibal God, otherwise known as Slave of the Cannibal God, starring Ursula Andress and Stacey Keach. Just came out in 1978, and it was in amongst the slew of cannibal movies that came out at that time. Kicked off, of course, by Cannibal Holocaust, but the other famous name in that one is Cannibal Ferox. I actually hadn't heard of this one before, and it was on the notorious Video Nasty banned list for the UK. So I finally managed to check this one out and just didn't know what I was walking into, what I was going to get. I was expecting sleaze, sort of blood, realistic animal deaths, those kind of things, the kind of things that are synonymous with these cannibal movies. And I was kind of surprised at what Sergio Martino had done here. He delivered some amazing movies like Torso and like Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key. You know, the really catchy titles, really small ones. He did it. He's like notorious as being like a really good director at this time. So I was really interested to check this out, especially because it had big names attached to it as well. It wasn't the usual kind of nameless cast that you hadn't really heard of before. The movie is all about Ursula Andress' Susan character, who has went looking for her husband, who has vanished on an expedition. Along with, she brings her weaselly brother, who just seems to be there to antagonise every situation, and she hooks up with Stacey Keach's character, who is a adventurer who knows the kind of land, knew the man who's missing, and is willing to take them to where they think that he was headed. And you kind of get the two dimensions of every character here, and you think, you know, this is just pretty much what they're going to be, and then they go on this adventure and you're like, I kind of know what's going to happen, but it didn't follow the kind of tropes of the plan that I was expecting it to follow. What happens is you get this kind of adventure first half where they're out in the jungle, they're just trying to trek about, they're trying to find any kind of like clue about where this guy has gone. They've got tribesfolk with them, they've got helpers, and they seem to have this haunting dreams or imagery of something kind of watching them from the shadows of the jungle. And it becomes quite interesting, and you get lots of images of animals hunting each other, or just being always in the foreground of the images. There is a couple of striking images of animals being murdered on camera. One with a lizard. I think there's been a couple removed from the movie as well. If that's not your cup of tea, you probably won't really like it. But this isn't as in your face as it is with other cannibal movies. And then by the time it kind of hits the halfway point, you know, you're a good 50 minutes into this movie, and it suddenly takes a turn. And the characters start to develop, and they start to release some hidden pasts. And we're not just talking one or two of the characters, we're talking most of them, and it's not as if any of them get short shrift either. It starts to fully develop these characters to become things that they are, really interesting and compelling, and they have motivations other than just the base motivations and they think they have, and it really elevates the movie more than I was expecting. The final third of the movie is when they're kind of captured by the cannibals. You know that's coming at some point. It's one of these cannibal movies, they're going to be in it at some point. And that final third is really weird and wacky and wonderful, and just goes like off the charts crazy with the kind of imagery that you would expect to find in this kind of thing. But the gore's kind of fun, and it's mostly unrealistic, which makes it a little bit more palatable, a little bit more interesting, definitely a lot more fun. There is some crazy moments at the end, kind of orgies, blood. There's a naked Ursula Andress getting rubbed up with kind of mud pack thing, and as the cover of the artwork says, there is one seriously satisfied pig in this movie as well. This gave me everything that I didn't know I actually wanted. It was a fun adventure. It was actually more than just pushing buttons. It actually had a story to tell. It had some stunning cinematography. It really showed the landscape of this country fantastically. It was shot in Sri Lanka, and it looks amazing. Like, the director really does his best to try and like showcase the locales of where they are. And when you check the extras and you discover that they built lots of the huts and things about, they look fantastic. They've put real effort into it, and it pays off. I thought this was a terrific movie. It's one I will go back to and watch again, and it's made me enthused to go back to Cannibal Holocaust and maybe check out the Cannibal Ferox that's coming out soon as well. This is one that doesn't rely on the gore. It doesn't rely on the blood or the animal torture. It's been kind of removed, and the movie still holds up. It's still a terrifically entertaining movie with some good characters, some nice twists along the way, characters that do get killed off all the way through the movie. They don't leave everything to the end. These people demise periodically throughout the movie, keeping it always interesting and entertaining. People who you think are going to make it to the end do not. It circumvents your thoughts of what's going to happen. Terrific because of that. Highly recommended. The extras itself as well, there's a nice documentary with lots of the crew talking about what they went through making this movie, speaking to the director. There's a little couple of minutes with the director who's apologising for the animal violence and what his recollections of that were. All in all, terrific package, terrific transfer, really good movie, well worth picking up if you haven't dabbled in this kind of genre before, or you're looking for an easy into this before you jump into some of the more notorious ones. This is a definitely worth picking up. Fantastic. It's great. I'd love to know your thoughts on the movie once you saw it. So if you let me know in the comment box, I just can't wait to hear what you think of it, especially the end sequences and that kind of freaky midget guy. It's just, whoa, love to know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Man vs. Film.